Australian law enforcement has pinpointed Angelo Pandeli as their latest primary target. The ex-president of the Hells Angels, Pandeli is evading authorities in a foreign safe haven. He has now come under police scrutiny due to his alleged takeover of Australia's drug trade following the arrest of prominent figures late last year. The apprehension of key individuals, including Hakan Ayik, Comanchero leaders Buddle and Duax Ngakuru, and 30 others in Turkey, served as a catalyst for Pandeli's ascent to power within a billion-dollar drug empire. Sources suggest that Pandeli is currently the most powerful bikie in the Australian underworld and is enjoying a luxurious lifestyle financed by the proceeds from his criminal activities. He is believed to be residing in the Middle East, and also has bases in Greece, Turkey, and Thailand, having fled Sydney in the aftermath of the arrests that marked the turning point in his influence over the drug trade. In 2017, Pandeli was a big fish caught up in a tax crackdown on bikie clubs. However, he escaped without a conviction after his accountant took the blame for tax irregularities. He was charged with failing to file tax returns after he ignored a notice from the Australian Taxation Office to provide a detailed income statement. However, Pandeli walked away without a conviction. The notice served on him at Sydney Airport in September 2017 gave him 2 months to file returns for the 2014 to 2015 financial year. He was also issued with a court attendance notice in May when he failed to provide it. Pandeli was one of the highest profile targets of the tax operation of that time, which included more than 200 bikies and criminal figures around the country. However, his case ended in a fail when magistrate recorded no penalty and no conviction. Pandeli, who at that time lived overseas for 6 to 8 months of the year, pleaded guilty, but his lawyer submitted an affidavit from his accountant who took responsibility for the irregularities. The accountant lodged a return, but his software didn't notify him it hadn't gone through, hence a penalty was received. Subsequent to these events, Angelo Pandeli remained under the vigilant scrutiny of law enforcement. The spotlight intensified following the tragic death of Comanchero bikie Anthony Zervas in a brawl at Sydney Airport in 2009. During the aftermath of this incident, Pandeli's residence in Pyrmont became the target of a raid by authorities, although he ultimately evaded charges. At the time of the raid, Pandeli held the position of president for one of the 2 Hells Angels chapters in Sydney, adding a layer of complexity to the legal landscape surrounding him. Moving between Athens, Cyprus, Asia, and Dubai, Pandeli has built up a network of underworld connections around the globe while plunging his money into several business ventures. His ascent to prominence in recent years has been nothing short of meteoric, catapulting him into the spotlight of both motorcycle club culture and law enforcement. His trajectory into power has been marked by a series of noteworthy events, including his leadership role as president of Sydney's 2 Hells Angels chapters. However, this surge in influence has not been without its challenges and legal entanglements. Born in Adelaide to Turkish parents Constantino and Marika Pandeli, the Hells Angels boss worked his way through the ranks in Sydney as his mum and dad ran pubs in South Australia. In the 1970s, the family and a young Angelo Pandeli spent time in the town of Whyalla, where they ran the pub the Sundowner Hotel. Moving to Adelaide in the early 2000s, Pandeli found himself working around the city's nightlife scene while still a junior member of the Hells Angels bikie club. In 2006 he was found to not be a fit and proper person to engage in security services at a local pub, the Newmarket Hotel, after it emerged in court that he was paid to keep other bikies out. From there, he moved to the bright lights of Sydney, where he became one of the most powerful bikies in the city, known to be a regular at high-end restaurants at Star City Casino. In 2006 he set up the Sydney City chapter and his power grew before taking over as national president after former boss Felix Lyle was jailed. After fleeing the country, Pandeli sold his Pyrmont waterfront apartment for $8.6 million, raking a $6 million profit from the property first purchased back in 2006 for about $2 million. The same waterfront home was subject to a raid in December 2018 over suspicions of his links to a failed plot to import $250 million worth of ice into Australia in a small plane. Pandeli was never charged over that plot. However, 2 years later in 2020, he was registered with several law enforcement agencies as an Australian priority organisation target. In recent years, as drug trade progressed, he became one of the original 9 members of what was called the Aussie cartel, a criminal partnership responsible for importing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of drugs into Australia. At its height, the cartel was believed to be turning over $1.5 billion through drug trafficking routes into the nation's ports with the help of corrupt insiders at the border. However, cartel's operation came crashing down in 2021, when the AFP revealed it had infiltrated their inner circle through the ONO map sting, where all their messages were read by police in real time. Thanks to the big hucks who promoted the app without the knowledge of it being a Trojan horse. He is now being hunted by the AFP, and the Australian Criminal Intelligence Commission, as well as the Australian Taxation Office again. The 52-year-old is known to police as having drug supply labs and manufacturing warehouses around the Golden Triangle of Southeast Asia. According to sources, Pandeli is operating a drug city of its own kind in the area, which includes intricate network of tunnels, strategically positioned checkpoints, and evasion mechanisms, similar to meticulously planned cinematic movie sets, all designed to avoid detection and navigate the challenging terrain of this clandestine operation. The drug city itself has experimental pods as well, where chemists and local pharmacists are employed to experiment and create new, more potent and profitable drugs. The Golden Triangle is a large, mountainous region of approximately 200,000 kilometers square in northeastern Myanmar, northwestern Thailand and northern Laos, centered on the confluence of the Irk and Mekong rivers. The Golden Triangle, and specifically Shan state of Myanmar, is believed to be the largest methamphetamine producing area in the world. Even though Pandeli is on the run and has accumulated significant wealth, like the big hucks and Mark Buddle, the authorities are optimistic that the ongoing pursuit, fueled by a combination of international partners, intelligence gathering, surveillance, and strategic planning, will lead to a successful arrest. As the net tightens around the fugitive, law enforcement remains steadfast in their commitment to dismantling his illicit operations and bringing him to justice, ensuring that the intricate web of criminal activities he orchestrated is unraveled. Whatever the case, we will keep you posted on this unfolding story. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe and turn on the notifications. Take care, Wu-Tang.